Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch?
So today we have CZNOMICS Wisdom on Luna. So welcome to Root Zones, bringing you the good news and the bad news of crypto. My name is Win.
And my name is Manish.
Now, if you like money in crypto, make sure to hit the subscribe button. So guys, gotta learn some stuff that can give you some insights into the crypto space. So of course, CZ has actually came out certain things that he have learned, lessons he have learned, spillover effects, systemic risks, right? That means inherent risks already inside the project, resilience, regulation, and much more. So of course, he talks about the design flaw directly. Speaking when you pack one asset using a different asset as collateral, there's always a chance for under collateralization or depegging. Now, even if it's collateralized over 10x, the collateral assets can crash more than 10 times. Nothing is 100% stable, as CZ mentioned. So, of course, he said it's the most stupid design flaw is thinking that minting more of the asset is increased or will increase its total value market cap. Printing money does not create value. Very important statement here. It only dilutes the existing holders. Now, myself and Manish, we have seen this both in the DAO as well as rebase in 2021 to 2022. These are things that we have tested over a period of time. Yes, we did make money, but we were lucky that we got out, right? For others, staying long term, having that mindset, eventually it catch up, right? There were losses also that we took, guys. So it's always a constant learning on projects, right? So you can use incentives to attract users to your ecosystem, but eventually you need to generate income to sustain it. More revenue than expenses. Otherwise, you will run out of money and it will crash, right? So of course, a fundamental flaw was over aggressive incentives, right? Specifically, Anchor was offering 20% fixed APY to push in for inorganic growth, right? So can you imagine that for Luna, Anchor protocol was talking about 20, and then yet we have other rebases that was talking about few million over percent. So you got to, while it's very attractive, you got to also think about sustainability. So while Terra did have an ecosystem with other use cases, the speed of the growth of the ecosystem did not match the speed of the incentives used to attract new users. So again, it's almost like Ponzi-nomics, right? So you need more people to come in to pump in more money for the entire protocol to work. The moment it reaches a certain plateau and people start to cash out, then if you don't have any other ecosystem or anything to generate proper use cases like utilities, if maybe on top of Luna, if they build a metaverse, people are actually using the metaverse with VR technology, and then there's an exchange of tokens, maybe it would have, through the buying and selling, it would actually generate revenue. So you got to always think about use cases as and the risk associated with that. So of course, the entire incident also was avoided, right? If they can use their reserves when the DPEG happened at the 5% mark, after that value of that coins has crashed more than 99%, or in terms of dollar value, it's about $80 billion. They tried to use $3 billion to do the rescue. Of course, mathematically, you know that would not work, right? So that was the first lesson. Now, lesson number 2 is always be operational, extremely responsive. So I think they never prepared for some devastation to happen like that. It happened so fast within 72 hours. So they were mostly coding. They were mostly looking at the kind of revenue that they were making, but they were not operationally ready to handle crises, right? Very important. And lesson number 3, of course, he spoke about is always communicate frequently with your users, especially in times of crisis. So of course, myself and Manish, we come from tech background. We are operationally ready, and we also do incident management, right? So it's a term we use in technology. When certain things happen, we know how to respond every hour, ensure that we bring back something that was called a break fix to bring it back to steady state. Unfortunately, this team was not matured enough to handle the operation. Yes, they had great DevOps, salute to them. Also great ideas to try to actually step up on the game. unfortunately, it shocked the entire ecosystem, right? So building a solid foundation is very important. Some solid project actually benefited in the way. BUSD one-on-one in pegging saw an inflow of funds over the last week. So I think people found going back into a proper stable coin that actually showed resilience in terms of the ecosystem. So of course, they combined the size of UST and Luna was bigger than the Lehman Brothers when it failed, right? The bank that actually failed, bankrupt, right? And Bitcoin, of course, dropped roughly about 20% from 40,000 to 30,000. So even without bailouts, right? Other major stable coins we've held the shock, and most of the crypto projects are still doing fine. Now, in terms of regulations, so regulators, of course, toughen their stance on the stablecoin given the magnitude of this incident. Now, he do believe that we need more guidelines around how the stable coins should be regulated. But one regulator said it best. He said that we definitely need to pay more attention to algo stable coins, but let's not let one company fail kill the entire industry. We should continue to push forward. So I think there's a lot of use case now that we can really study this major event that happened in the history of crypto, and hopefully we'll come out stronger, guys. I think that's important as we go through this evolution of innovation. So of course, how do we avoid systemic risk in this like future? This is a $1 trillion question, CZ said. I don't think there's an absolute answer here. Nothing is risk free. The fiat currency you use today also have certain amount of risk. The oldest currency is used today is less than 330 years old, the British pound. So of course, the British pound took over the Dutch about 500. Looking at the history of 500 years, and then in 1971, we had the Bretton Woods treaty that was signed, making the US dollar as the world currency. But of course, if you actually read a book called The New World Order, you will understand that the current China world currency is aiming to be the world currency. That means more use. I mean, the most used renminbi in the world, right? So I think in terms of the Silk Road as well as domination over the entire world, China is coming up to become the world power, right? So hopefully the US will find ways, maybe not get into the war in Ukraine. I'm not, being political here, but just looking at the so-called nuances in the news called the dying dollar. So do check that out. So of course, all currencies, of course, have died or gone before that, before the British pound. And we could also ban and shut down everything, but that will also kill innovation. Now, to prevent bank failure and management, which have happened in the past, right? Mismanagement, we do not shut down the banks, right? So that's something CZ also raised, which is a good point. So at the end of the day, there are several things you can do to reduce systemic risk. As an investor, diversify your portfolio. Of course, there's many thoughts around diversification, or really knowing that maybe Bitcoin is the only game in town, and then just putting all your funds into that Bitcoin when it's down, right? And not go into any other coins. But that again, you gotta train yourself, get yourself educated. So that's one school of thought, of course, because right now this Luna had offered a high APY. And point number two, of course, in fact, stay away from the super high APYs. Those hardly last. High APYs equal high risk, guys. So like the Dow, Time Wonderland, we also had rebases, right? Like many, like Sphere and what have you. Most importantly, educate yourself, learn about financial literacy every day. Visit Binance have their own academy. Like us, we have about 300 over videos. If you watch this, you will kind of have a idea of the crypto space, because we have started about 1 year ago, and explore everything it has to offer. And as an industry, we are resilient. While instances like the one that we had recently with Luna and USD are regrettable, we are committed to playing a crucial part in building a sustainable and reaching blockchain ecosystem for everyone. So we are still early, guys. 1.2 trillion, I believe, today.
Yep.
Let's check this out. Yeah, 1.2 trillion, and we have about maybe 10 million wallets. By 2027, we'll be looking at a very high growth of maybe a billion wallets, right? Due to hopefully the SEC and governments having regulations around stable coins and cryptocurrency to keep us retailers safe. Just use this word safe maybe that's needed to actually move this industry. So with that, Manish, I'm going to hand over to you for the
Sure.
next
Thanks.
segment.
Thanks. Let me share my screen as well. Just give me a minute, second. I think, yeah. All right. So I'll share my screen now. All right. So there are some expert talking about 6 questions which we can correlate and we can also learn, because uh, these are the fundamental questions when you come across to a blockchain and a DeFi. So just to let you know, Sonali is Giovino has been working in the crypto space since 2017, when she began holding a weekly educations workshops, which leads to a public speaking events on a cryptocurrency and the blockchain, and her productions on Vancouver with the Blockchain Yacht Cruise Conference. She brings 20 plus years of experience as a technical communicators to her positions at DeFi Yield, previously holding roles in marketing, project management, business development, and event coordination. So let's check it out. What are the 6 questions for Sonali Giovino of DeFi Yield? And these are the questions which is very fundamental and we still struggling to understand that. So what is the main hurdle to mass adoptions of blockchain technology? This often comes in our mind as well, and we try to find the answer in a right way. So she answered these questions in very intelligent way. I think the main hurdle of the mass adoptions of blockchain technology is that there are still so many people who don't understand what blockchain and DeFi is, how it works, and what benefit it can bring to our society. So the more we can support the industry through educations, the more widespread adoptions can be. So this is what we as in Root Zones does it. We educate people, we share knowledges in terms of blockchain and crypto industries. That's one of the biggest reason, and C get involved in the space, and the DeFi ills especially as main focus in consistently educating new and existing users. So the next questions what the Coin Telegraph has asked to this expert is, if you were investing the startup company right now, what kind of blockchain based business opportunity would catch your eyes? A very interesting question, guys. So to project that are able to integrate and offer a connected network of blockchain protocol and investing opportunities consolidated into one space are definitely gaining a lot of attention. So I would be drawn to a project that simplify the process for users. Some projects require users to bridge their network and a blockchain, but anything that one click or one move is the type of opportunity that would catch my eyes. Very intelligently answer these questions, and yes, this is what people looking from blockchain. What does a decentralizations mean to you and why it is important? So decentralizations gives people more control, and it's an important freedoms to not have a single entity like a bank or a government and controlling your assets. So guys, if you're not aware of a decentralizations, like uh, in a web 2, what used to happen, there used to a server and client, so all the information used to store in one particular place, where is decentralizations, where you replicate the informations to a multiple sources. So when your server crash or when your servers purposely bring down, it's not that one source where informations are stored. So that's why she's saying that like the entity like a bank or government controlling your assets. So bank and government, how control our assets? They have the access to a centralized systems. Which two superpower would you most want to have, and how would you combine them or a good? Oh, so just see the answer, guys. If I could have a two superpower, I would want to utilize a teleportation potations and a superhuman strength. So I would fly around the world between the planet to explore the universe and all the mystical elements it has to offer. So nowadays, these teleportations can be happen using the metaverse, guys. Within by using the metaverse, you can be in a metaverse and you can connect and you can travel across anywhere. Close your eyes and think of a happy place. What do you see? When I close my eyes, I think of a happy place. I see palm tree, oceans, views, sunrise and sunsets to start and in my day. So this again sees mean to answer through the metaverse, and probably this is the thing which anytime and anywhere you can travel. What is the book that influenced you most and why? So she mentioned that The Seat of the Soul by Gary Jukwa has influenced me that most because it speaks to me about the way understand consciousness, breaking through inner patterns and different between the personality and the soul. Hope these six questions are interesting, and you also learn something about the blockchain and a DeFi space. So today, guys, in another update, we are having today a Bitcoin Pizza Day. So today is a Bitcoin Pizza Day. So there are surprising facts about the Bitcoin Pizza Day, and what are those surprising facts? At this year, Bitcoin price high of 63,000, the two pizzas were worth 630 million. Uh, so these are some seven interesting fact which we should be aware of why these pizza days are celebrated. So 10,000 BTC was worth just $41 at the time of purchase. So through the data on the early Bitcoin economy is getting hard to come by, according to a Bitcoin user, Elder X. Could have traded his Bitcoin in exchange for US dollar about 41 to be exact. Should we figure the accurate that put the price per Bitcoin is roughly is 0.004, a 4,000 of a penny at the time of sale. So another fact was the Hanzi had to wait 4 days to get his pies. Sure, it not impressive as Satoshi waiting nearly 11 months of Bitcoin to establish a price, but by conventional food delivery standards, Heinz waited a while for his order. And in fact, Heinz first post on the bitcoin.org forum on Tuesday, May 18 at the time of writing. So Heinz bought more than two pizza for Bitcoin. Heinz did just a stop with two pizza. However, in incited by the response, sought to push the limit in June, and adding to his post that the deal was an offer. So there is a story behind this pizza day, and some other day we clarify about this story. Number four is Jerkos eventually sold this bitcoins. As a Bitcoin Pizza Day holiday grew, it was not long before Jeremy Jerkos would be thrust back into the limelight. Had give his only interview to a website called Bitcoin, who who's who in 2015, a 5 year after the trade. So Bitcoin Pizza Day was not widely celebrated at first, while Bitcoin Pizza Day is widely known today. Record about any celebrations or a scare between 2014. That is not exactly surprising, as before 2013 awareness of Bitcoin was low. So Bitcoin Pizza Day was not the first Bitcoin holiday. The right Bitcoiners have been creating holiday for almost as long as the technology has been around, and its first convertive date set is 2011. And the seventh fact was you can still see the picture of the real Bitcoin pizzas. Wondering what multi-million dollar pizza actually look like? Wonder no more. Thanks to Hansi Pensent of for photography, we have well kept record for just what these expensive pies looked like at the time they were eaten in 2010. So another update, we have coming from a luxury brand, Tag, who are accepts Bitcoin Shiba Inu stable payments in the US. In the early push into a Web3, the Tag Hua latest adoptions of a digital currency came into a reality by collaborating with the payment services provider BitPay. It provide it possible that user could choose major digital currencies like a Bitcoin, Ethereum, stable coins, and more to pay for the luxurious product. So that's all for the update from the crypto space. And let's check it out what is happening in the market side with Wayne. Wayne, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Manish. Let me just share that. So of course, guys, extreme fear, right? Nothing new. This will take some time. Some people speculate within 6 to 18 months. So still continue to do your dollar cost average for the tokens that you believe would be the future. So of course, myself and Manish, we are just only looking at currently Bitcoin. But again, guys, it's not financial advice. Still have to do your own research. So of course, today markets are looking good over the weekend. Top 10 coins, let's check it out on Luna Crush. We have Scale, Terra, Terra USD, Phantom, Zilliqa, Anchor Protocol, Web USD, Avalanche, Tezos, Gel, and Immutable X. This is coins based on alt ranks. We have 19,000 cryptos, 500 exchanges, still 1.2 trillion, lowest we have seen so far in the crypto space since we started, right? So of course, Bitcoin last 24 hours up by 1.99, Ethereum up by 2.11. We have BNB up by 3%, XRP up by 1.42. We have Cardano up by 2.67, Solana up by 4.55, and Dogecoin slightly up by 2.27. Looking at the market total cap right now, still stabilizing. Looks like it's almost accumulation, right? 1.2 trillion. Bitcoin, of course, takes close to about 50%, having a good stability at about 29,000. If it breaks the 29,000 support levels, it will be looking at the 24,000 mark, followed by 19,000. Now, how low can Bitcoin go? We still haven't tested the lowest it can based on previous years data, but nevertheless, don't put all your money in if you like have $10,000, don't just go and pump it at today's price, because if it actually drops, you could actually spread that maybe $1,000 a week, or just playing with some ideas. So let us know in the comment section below what do you think about certain investments that can be used right now in the crypto space. So I'm going to hand over to Manish for the tweet of the day.
Yeah, thanks. So the tweet is coming from Rich Dad Poor Dad author. Mr. Kiyosaki shared his insight on the mechanism of a bull and bear market through the following tweet. Rich Dad said, "A bull market makes stupid investors look smart, wherein a bear market turns the stupid investors into a loser and a smart investor into winners." So markets are crashing. Time for a smart investor to become very rich winner. Take care. So yeah, he shared his thought and insight in a funny way. Hope you enjoyed it, and that's all for today, guys, and see you tomorrow. Till then,
Take care, guys.
bye bye.
Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check,